All right, hello everybody. So as you can see, I kind of darkened things up a little bit. If we select our light source, our directional light here, we'll see that I set the intensity down to 0.2, and I adjusted the light color down a little bit, so it's like a dark blue color. And then if you click the sky sphere and disconnect the link for this, so you should be able to just select it and click clear, and then set the sun height to -2. And that should give you an environment like this. If it doesn't, make sure to click this button to refresh the material. And that'll darken your scene up if that's what you're after. So I went ahead and I added some door frames around my doors. And if I open up the blueprint here, we take a look at it. I also added in some text here. So I have two cubes with different materials on them. And then I added a text render. And then I also added a few more cubes to kind of frame out our door here. And then in our construction script, this is where I'm setting the text, setting the font size essentially, and I'm setting the visibility of those. So if I have double doors, I can actually hide that nameplate. And then I went ahead and right clicked on these, promoted these all to variables, the value here, and the new visibility. And I made sure to make all of those public by clicking this little eyeball here. Okay. And what that'll do is if I go over here, we'll see this says office. So if I select this, we now have access to all of these. So I can tell whether the door is locked or not. I can set visibility, adjust the size of the font, and actually change the font itself. So the is locked functionality is in the event graph. So after our interact and our gate, I have a branch checking to see if it's locked or not. And then we're playing a click on button sound. And this will just play a sound effect. Later on, I can import a like a door locked audio and have that play when we attempt to open the door. So let me show you what that looks like here. Open this door up, and as you can see, I did create some lights, and we'll be going over those in a moment. So if I walk over here, an audio plays when I try to open this door. I walk over here, this door, we'll see it opens up. Really dark in there. And so on. So yeah, so those are kind of the edits that I've done so far. And then let's hop into how I created these lights. And we're going to be adding a few more features to these lights as well. So if we go into the content browser, we go ahead and create a new one. So right click, blueprint class, actor, and we'll call this school light underscore VP. And we'll open this guy up. So you could very well model out the frame for your light. Otherwise, you could just use cubes and just kind of rescale them up and adjust as you see fit. So here we have just one cube. And then if I select this, hit Control C, select the scenery, Control V will create another one. And I'm going to go ahead and move this one down a little bit. Scale it inward like this, and scale it inward like this. So now let's go ahead and create a glowing material for this. So if I click here, click material, I'm going to call this, let's go with lamp because I already have a light. Save. And now if we click the magnifying glass and double click here, we can open up this material. So now let's select this and we'll go down to shading model and we'll choose unlit. And this will just make it so the emissive color is here. So now I'm going to hold 3 and left click on the graph here to give myself a 3 vector. And then I'm going to go into my emissive color and we're going to change this up to white. So now, as you can see, we have kind of this white material that's not taking any shadows. So if we hop back into our blueprint here, we'll see it's kind of glowing in that sense. And now what we can do is go into here, type in rect, and we want this rectangular light here. So now we want to go ahead and rotate this guy. So the light is facing down. I think I got it facing up right now. Yep, I got it facing up. Let's turn this guy around. Right. So now let's move this up to here. And then we want to adjust. You can adjust the width a little bit and then adjust the height just until those lines are right on the outskirts of this object. And I'll keep this guy at 5,000 for now. But let's go into BPs. I'm going to grab my spool light, move it up, and you can see that we are now emitting light, but we also have an emissive material to show that there's a light there, right? It's very important for all of your lights to have some sort of source behind them, okay? So now that we have this blueprint, I'm going to go ahead and edit my original because I already have it placed. But it's the same exact thing as what we just built. The only difference is I have a like a brown material on the other cube. So what we want to do is grab this rect light here. And actually, let's also hop into our light material. And you don't have to worry about this. But what we do need to do is add in a multiply node into the emissive color here. And then what we're going to do is time and then assign node. And now we can plug that directly into that. And we can see that this kind of flickers off and on a little bit. And we can also adjust this, the period, so we get kind of more of a crazy flicker if we want to. 0.5 will give us kind of half that pace. So basically what a sine node is it's up and down like this, okay? So what we can do here is actually do a lerp. And instead of this, what I want to do is A goes in there, B goes into there, and then I want to create a constant parameter, okay? So a scalar parameter. So hold S on the keyboard and left click, and this is going to be flicker. We're going to plug this in there, and then plug that in there. So when this value is 0, it's going to be A. When it's 1, it's going to flicker. Okay. Now save, and let's hop back into our blueprint here.